It's getting closer to election 2020, 5 days to the December polls. Hello and welcome to your one-stop shop for all things election brief. I'm Yagaba-Kubori, and coming up in this edition, today we ask, is it illegal to take pictures of your ballot after casting it? The Electoral Commission insists it is, following the arrest of 2 persons during yesterday's special voting exercise.
It's specific that the choice of balloting should be in secrecy. So the moment you take snapshot of your thumbprint or the ballot paper, you have breached the law. And yesterday I know 3 people so far.
But a private legal practitioner is questioning which charges would be labeled against the persons arrested. We'll hear from him. Also, mounting tension at Yagaba-Kubori constituency in the Northeast constituency Northeast region, following the arrest of 5 NDC members after a bloody clash last Sunday.
Came home only for the military men to come in the night again, and they were going around picking the NDC guys without the presence of the police. And we have our reservation with regards to that.
We'll speak live with our reporter on the ground. And as the countdown to the December 7th begins, President Akufo-Addo commits to preserve the country's natural resources as he wraps up his campaign in the Ashanti region.
Need to me some kase ye to me nya mining Ghana me so me kasa da say ye to me nya mining Ghana.
We'll hear from him and also from the camp of the NDC as its flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, who's heading towards the eastern region to garner more votes for the party. Well, Galamsey takes center stage in the last-minute campaign as the NPP and NDC offer their proposals on dealing with the canker. We will interrogate their positions. This and many more coming up in the next 55 minutes. Election Brief is live on myjoyonline.com and Facebook. The show is brought to you by courtesy of Petrosol. Clean fuel in full quantity is always a delight experience, and Cowbell Coffee. Taste it, love it. Please stay tuned in. Thanks for staying with your election headquarters, your home of reliable, credible, and impactful journalism. I'm Yagaba-Kubori. Now we start off with the EC, and the Director of Elections at the Electoral Commission, Dr. Sreboy Kweku, has maintained it is illegal for people to take pictures of their votes in the polling booth. Police at the Peshi Divisional Headquarters in the Krowa constituency yesterday arrested 2 voters believed to have taken photos of their ballot papers after voting. The accused persons, who are currently behind bars pending investigation, have denied any wrongdoing. However, the police maintain that evidence of the act was found on their phones. Superintendent Abraham Aposinya, who is the police commander at the Peshi Division at Nungwa, told the media they had been investigated for disclosure of votes. Here is a report by my colleague Ernest Menu.
Here at the Peshi Divisional Headquarters of the police at Nungwa, the venue for the special voting, the event has been smooth so far. We had voters adhering to the COVID-19 protocols, going through the processes to cast their ballot peacefully. Indeed, there have not been any security concerns here. But however, at midday, there were 2 incidents that were recorded. 2 individuals were arrested by the police, first on the instance of the EC officials and second by other observers, for allegedly taking a shot of their ballot paper on their phones. Now, they were interrogated by the police. They denied the claim. It has been a bit of a contention. They remain behind bars as we speak because the police say they have found the evidence of the ballot paper on their phone. There was a third incident recorded not long after that. An NDC agent here accused the lady of taking a shot of her ballot paper. Eventually, when she was taken in by the police for interrogation, they found no such evidence of taking a picture of her ballot paper. She has been let go and discharged. However, the accounting of the ballot is underway by the election officials here at the Krowo constituency.
The presiding officer for polling station B, Forson, presiding officer for polling station B. The total number on the register was 414, and then for the presidential, 359 voted, and parliamentary 357 voted. Yes, that's.
So far, are the agents satisfied with the protest? Did they raise any challenge?
No, they didn't raise any challenge. So far, they have been very peaceful, and the protest has been very smooth. The agents did not have any problems.
The two major candidates, Elizabeth Afolekwe, who is the incumbent, the Member of Parliament for Krowo, and the Minister of Fisheries, is poised. She says she believes she's going to win the constituency again, but this time a wider margin. In 2016, she won by a little over 2,600 votes, and she came up against a strong contender who had just about 3 months to campaign for the elections, Agnes Namumulate. Agnes is back on the ballot paper for 2020, and she says she's going to give the
This is very significant for me because every individual vote counts. So it is really important. The total number expected to vote here is over 400. So for me, it's very significant. Yes. Hopefully, I'm winning this one too, and I know that I'm winning the national or the general elections on the 7th of December. It's been very peaceful. It's been very, very peaceful, and I expect that on the 7th of December, the same environment will persist, and everybody will be very comfortable. We'll go about expressing our franchise, you know, in a very peaceful manner.
There have been a few incidents of alleged, of people allegedly taking a shot of their ballot, and I understand the police is handling that matter. I'm sure that has come to you. What do you make of that?
I don't know why anybody would want to do that. These days, a lot of things happen. People just get excited with social media. This morning, I saw some people displaying some ballots on social media. Maybe they are just excited. They just want to display their votes or something.
But you can assure us that this is not being instigated by any of your team members whatsoever.
No, I don't think so. If you know the environment, the ambience properly, you wouldn't be so desperate as to ask people to take photos of their votes. I don't think I would want to.
You appear very confident, but you are coming up against somebody who contested you in 2016. Remember, she was not originally the candidate. They lost out. The person who was voted for passed on, and she was eventually brought on.
Pass on, please. So, he only fell sick.
He only fell sick. Very well. Thanks for the correction. But it means that she did not have enough time, as it were, to campaign. But she put up quite strongly a good show. She won with, she lost by 30 votes. You won with just a little over 2,000 votes. And so this is quite a fierce competition. You are very confident that you are going to win, and by what margin?
By a bigger margin, more convincingly than it was in 2016. We know Krowo has always been a swing seat, but this time, because of the good work of the Member of Parliament and the good work of His Excellency, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I believe strongly that the margin is going to increase because our work is there for everybody to see. Our performance is very clear for everybody to see. And so I believe strongly that the margin is going to increase, and Krowo will become one of the strongholds of the New Patriotic Party.
Yeah, here at Nungua, the people who often decide the votes are those along the beaches, the coastal area, where you call the Mami, and they are mainly fisher folks. You, as Fisheries Minister, this will be a vote or a verdict passed on your performance as Minister for Fisheries. Do you think that you have served them well and served their interests with the position you were given by winning this constituency?
It will interest you to know that just yesterday a lot of fishermen met with me and proclaimed their support for me. They actually assured me that with the work that I have done so far, there's no going back. They are going to show their support. They are going to show their gratitude to the New Patriotic Party, to His Excellency the President, and to me as the Member of Parliament and the Minister for Fisheries. So I believe strongly that there's going to be a strong wind, you know, of support for the New Patriotic Party. So we are winning. We are winning convincingly with a larger margin.
Very well. And so that is the Member of Parliament for Krowo. We have the candidate for the NDC also here, Agnes Na Momo Latte. We will speak to her briefly in just a minute to hear her views as well. As you can imagine already, the place is, because the polls have ended, there are a lot more supporters coming around, want to observe how the counting of the ballots will be done and how the ballots will also be done. We'll speak to her briefly. Madam, good evening. You're live on JoyNews, also on Joy 99.7 FM. What is your observation? What will be your remarks of today's special voting?
It's been a peaceful process so far. We've been here since morning. So far, so good. Though bits and pieces of incidents that would have loved to have been otherwise. But so far, it's been good. It's been good. We've all, you know, comported ourselves. Would have wished it better, but it's not been bad.
Elizabeth Afolekwe beat you in 2016. She beat you by over 2,000 votes. What is the confidence this time round that you are going to win the seat?
Thank you very much. I think in 2016, I came into the race about 3 months to elections, and I had 30,000 plus votes. And she's been in, or she was in 2 years or a year and a half before I came in, and she had 32,000 plus. That gives me the confidence that the people didn't neglect me. Even though I did not win the race, I was actually a good competitor. And this time, she knows, and they know that I'm giving them a good run for their money, in spite of all the resources and the money they are sharing.
And so Evans, it's getting exciting already here at Nungua, and you can imagine.
So that was Ernest Menu with that update from the Krowo constituency yesterday during the special voting. Well, Director of Electoral Services at the EC, Dr. Srebo Kweku, is calling for custodial sentences for voters arrested for taking photos of their ballots.
There's a sense specific that a choice of balloting should be in secrecy. So the moment you take snapshot of your thumbprint or the ballot paper, you have breached the law. And yesterday, I know 3 people so far have been arrested. And it is my wish that those who are given custodial sentence before 7th December to serve as warning to others. We should be people who respect the laws of the country. We cannot take the laws into our own hands. That is indiscipline. So anybody who did that started the law, and they should bow their heads in shame. Why would you take snapshot of your vote? What is the need for it? And by so doing, you are breaching the laws of the country, and you should be sanctioned severely and with swiftness that it demands to serve as warning to others.
Now, let's listen to private legal practitioner Samson Ladi Ayenini on whether at all the Constitution frowns on people taking pictures of their votes.
I was waiting to hear the specific charges that the police will prefer against the persons to arrest. And I've just heard you play the police officer saying they will be charged for disclosure of votes. I'll be interested, and let's get the police officers to tell us which specific provision of law they are talking about. Because if you look at the election law, yes, the Constitution Article 49 says that the voting must be by secret ballot. The CI 127/2020 Regulation 33 says that when you add your ballot paper, you must go and submit it secretly. But
hi, Mr. Yanene, it's quite difficult hearing you. If you don't mind repositioning yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay, so I was saying that when you read Article 49, your vote must be by secret ballot. If you read also the 2020 regulations we made to govern these elections, 3 says that when you are handed the ballot paper, you thumbprint it secret. But it does not criminalize not doing it secretly. In fact, the criminal sanction provided for are in the representation of the people law. The representation of the people law, you will not find, I have not found, I should say, a criminalization of a person who votes and wants to make that vote public. Because the law must make sense and the law must be enforceable. How on earth can you enforce making my vote secret? If I wanted to tell about my vote in an exit poll, will you say I have committed an offense?
All right. So, Mr. Yanene, here's another issue a lot have raised. Doing this could lead to vote buying, which is against the law. So how do we reconcile this then?
Vote buying on whose side?
So if somebody is paid to vote for a certain party and you're told that, okay, we would give you a balance of this when you can confirm that you voted for our candidate, then taking that photograph becomes evidence.
The law's requirement in the parent election law is that because the Constitution requires that the vote must be secret, the state or the Electoral Commission and its officers must endeavor to ensure that your vote is secret. What does that mean? What it means is that it names particular officers of the EC and says they should help to ensure that your vote is protected. But if you have a right and you don't want to assert that right and you want to waive that right, what crime is there?
All right.
My point actually is that if you read the offenses, you do not find an offense against the person who decides to waive that right. It is rather the EC officers, if they do not help protect your rights, that they may be in a
So you heard there from the lawyers, there's nothing criminal about taking your photos. Lawyers tell us that it's only criminal when someone forces you to take pictures of your ballot or when someone forces you to show him or her your ballot paper. So it's a mere privilege which one can waive at any time. It is not criminal. This is your election headquarters. Let's head to the northeast region where more police personnel have been deployed to Yagaba-Kubori to ease rising tension in the constituency after 5 NDC members were arrested in connection with a bloody clash on Sunday evening. 5 people were injured and the MPP parliamentary candidate's residence was vandalized after both sides clashed. Earlier, the MPP had accused the MP for the area, Abdul Rauf Tanko Ibrahim, of instigating the attack. This situation has angered NDC members who are accusing the police of bias. Here's the brother of the MP, Ibrahim Abdul Rashid.
The incident took place and we were trying to move out of the community. You know, on our way back home, we met a team of policemen with their pickup going there. and we stopped. They were telling us that our people are being attacked over there. That is the report they got from the Assemblyman. So they should come. So they went there and we came home. Later, some of the people joined us in Yaba here. Some had to run for their life. Even today, this morning, as I speak to you, I got a call from a chief from Mugu, who is also saying that some of the people came and slept at his place because they were chased out of the community. And we have evidence of the destruction of houses of our people that took place there. And if the media one, we can go there and cover it. It is there.
Okay, so
they have to do in order to ensure peace in the area is to beef up security in these hotspots, because there are some hotspots we have identified, and I know the security men too, they have it. If they want to ensure security now, during and after the election, then they have to make sure that they beef up security in the Tantala area, the Bozesi area, Yaba, Kubari, Kubugu, Patargu area, and even Lori. They have to beef up security. If there is security, I think all of us will keep a limit. They came the very day the incident took place. They made some arrests. I think they arrested 5 people from the other side of the divide where the incident started. And then they also came to Yaba here and picked some of our people too, about 4 people, making them 9. But later, I think when they picked those people, they took them to Walwali and then processed them before court. They were very swift. They processed them before court. And then both lawyers from our side and that of the MPP were all there.
Well, security personnel were meeting earlier with the aggrieved parties. Our reporter Ilyasu Tanko joins us with the very latest. Ilyasu, we understand the NDC is demanding the release of the arrested members. What more can you tell us, especially on the update of this meeting which has just ended?
Exactly. The meeting has ended. The party supporters, they are still massed up at the residence of the NDC parliamentary candidate, who is also the incumbent member for this particular constituency. Now, Araba, what I can tell you that there's an intense ceasefire agreement between both parties, or among both parties, I should say. First, we witnessed a meeting between the NDC and the security forces. As I speak to you right now, I am just right at the party headquarters here in the constituency, and you can see me standing here with the NPP parliamentary candidates whose house were vandalized in that and as I just been told, they have also organized their party supporters trying to ensure that there's calm. I want to speak to him briefly to tell us what the meeting is about. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes. So I've just seen that there are a lot of party supporters here. What are you telling me?
We're just having our normal party agents training.
This is your election headquarters. Unfortunately, we lost the feed to Ilyasu Tanko. We'll be bringing you updates of that situation in the Yagaba-Kubori constituency in our subsequent bulletins. Now, President Akufo-Addo is wrapping his 3-day tour of the Ashanti region with the commissioning of a police hospital at Boshin, inspection of ongoing projects, and a drive through Bantama and Ashtown. The president is reinforcing his call for the electorate to come out and vote on election day. Addressing a rally at Manson Kwanta, a mining town, the president said his position on illegal mining remains unchanged, stressing he cannot support any mining activity that destroys the environment.
Need to me some Makase, you to me mining Wagana, Mr. Minkasa da, say to me mining Wagana. Me say, ye nananum breso, ye mining Wagana. Na mining a kwaso wadi ya no and say asase no anke ameto and say nsuo no anka yambeto it is yes we baba ye mining yes said I am kwan a say asase no say nsuo no no na maka na meta so kira ho da bia me kira no ho na me kira Mrs. Amaje was asking me say ye baba ye se foforo wo mining no adin wa hoto ene bibia ye baba ye community mining no mabanye guso den obia oya mining the juma mono, but we're going to do a different kind of mining for the future of our country and for the protection of our land. Oh, but you'll be about Penibia, or no, as a man fan who about Caso, Galan said, or not about Bama, yet to a boo. Men, yes, sir. Men, yes, I'm a Pagana for a year to do. Say, Metro, my general, the Yasa, or men, yes, sir. The Jumana Mama, you know, and someone near and someone near. Now, says someone near. Madesra dene say, Madesra dene say, Edia mumma me kwine, na me ntwa me djuma no so, na formo for nanano, enya djuma. New Patriotic Party. We have a blueprint for the development of Ghana. Akufo-Addo's first term has laid the foundation. The second term, we're going to build the house of prosperity, the house of progress, the house of employment, the house of development.
So you heard the president there essentially saying that his position on illegal mining still stands and that he is bent on eradicating that particular issue, the menace of illegal mining. And he was speaking in the Ashanti region where he's wrapping up his 3-day tour. Let's head to the camp of John Mahama, and he is heading to the eastern region. Maxwell Agbagba has been following Mr. Mahama's campaign team. He brings us an update on what to expect of his visit to the eastern region. Maxwell, what can you report?
Just some minutes ago to the eastern region to continue his campaign after he visited the Savannah region. Well, in the eastern region, he's expected to retreat the promise, the NDC's promised about the free senior high school policy, that it would not abolish. It's contrary to what has been making the rounds that the NDC would abolish it. He's been saying that on all the campaign platforms that he's been on in the Ashanti region, in the northeast region, the northern region, and the Savannah region, everywhere. It's expected that he would retreat that point, and also about the double track system. That if the NDC is elected into power, they would within 1 year cancel the double track system. It is also expected that he will talk about the national apprenticeship program, which he says will provide jobs for young people. He says for those who do not have the necessary technical and vocational training, the National Apprenticeship Program will provide them with jobs and equip them, with the necessary skills. It's also expected that you talk about the NDC's free healthcare, primary universal healthcare program, which they say that if the NDC is elected, all you need is your Ghana card to go to the hospital. Any hospital, the status of a district hospital or below the district hospital, you can go when you're not feeling well to get free medical care. It's also expected that he will tout his infrastructure record, just like he's been doing in the many other regions that he has visited in the past.
Maxwell Agbagba is embedded with the John Dramani Mahama campaign team. And as you heard him there, the former president is heading to the eastern region. Now, the former president has also been talking about illegal mining and Galamsey. He's promising to return seized concession and excavators to Galamseyers or small-scale miners if voted into power. Listen.
Abai way by almost say almost quality galamsey. Into almost JJ for excavators. Na anka almost JJ any name say obia eja galamsey na anka nyehwe.
This government sees excavators in the name of Kebin Galamsey, but they have given it out to their party people to undertake the same trade.
And so betia na obi excavator omaje ana ne fidie bia omaje. Na their common party ni.
As for me, if I'm voted into power, I will return all your excavators.
Entimaka says nyame adom ne eba. Obi a yaje ne machine bia ye beje na de asande na de amano.
We'll do some analysis of the two parties' position on the Galamsey Kanka, or the small-scale mining issue. But we're taking a break right now. Stay tuned because we have a lot more stories ahead here on Election Brief on your election headquarters. You're welcome back to Election Brief. Let's go back to the issue of illegal mining, or Galamsey as it's known. So you've heard from both the president on his position on illegal mining, as well as former President John Dramani Mahama on what he will do if elected. And he says that he is going to return the excavators back to the small-scale miners, as well as return their concessions to them. So how will these two contrasting sides impact voters? Executive Director of ISUDEC, Dr. Steve Mantiao, joins us on the line now. Many thanks for your time, sir. So Galamsey was a major issue at the start of the Akufo-Addo administration. His position has been clear from the onset to ban illegal mining. First of all, what's your assessment of the implementation of the government's plan to ban illegal mining?
Right. Let me first make a small correction. I'm the campaigns coordinator at ISUDEC.
Very well. Thank you for the correction.
To your question, I will say that the efforts to curb the menace hasn't so far been successful. But it is good that government has not given up. As we speak, the World Bank has advanced some $60 million loan to the government of Ghana to help with the formalization of the ASN subsector. So there's still work going on, and so we are hoping that by the time we are done with the new arrangement to formalize the ASM sector, we'll be able to get a good handle on the illegal aspects of it. I think the point has been made that small-scale mining is not prohibited by law. It's only a matter of having to go through a licensing process and be duly licensed to undertake the activity. And so that is what the ASM formalization, which is being spearheaded by the ASM Formalization Secretariat under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, is seeking to do now.
Right. Dr. Mantiao, Mr. Mahama has a different position on the Galamsey issue. Well, he wants to regulate the business and give small-scale miners concession. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, that's what we needed to do as a country long ago. We do have multinational companies that come into the country to mine for gold. And I recall when I served on the World Bank Extractive Industry Advisory Board in Washington, this issue came up quite strongly, that after mining gold for 100 years and more, it is sad that Ghana has not been able to actually produce any mining giant, a company that can rub shoulders with the multinationals. And this is largely because we haven't really provided adequate support to the small-scale mining sector in a way that helps them to grow from small scale to medium scale and eventually to large scale. And so I think that reorganizing the sector differently and providing support to them is a good thing to do.
Where you stand, what should voters be looking out for in making a decision if they're being influenced by the issue of Galamsey and what these two parties are offering?
No, we cannot run away from the fact that small-scale mining provides livelihood for hundreds of thousands of Kenyans. And in the absence of alternative livelihoods, you need to find ways in which you are better able to regulate, to minimize the toll on the environment. And I'm pretty sure all those whose livelihood depend on small-scale mining are looking for that kind of support. So the pledge of any support from any of the contesting parties will be a welcome one, and I'm pretty sure that will win the votes of those people in the mining communities whose livelihood depend on the activity.
All right. Many thanks, Dr. Steve Mantiel there, offering his thoughts on the position of the two parties on the issue of Galamsey, and that's illegal mining and small-scale mining. Be sure that this conversation hasn't ended. It will continue on our subsequent programs. Moving on, a vice presidential candidate of the People's National Convention, Reverend Dr. Divine Ayevo, is urging Ghanaians to vote for his party in the December general elections for progressive change. According to him, the PNC's policies and programs would accelerate the development of the country. He's on a tour in the Volta region.
Dr. Ayevo began his 3-day tour of the Volta region with an interaction with traders at the whole central market, where he outlined some policies in the PNC 2020 manifesto. Among other things, he mentioned free education from kindergarten to tertiary levels, free technical and vocational training, among others.
To bring a change to how things are going on in this country. It's about time. We have voted for 20 years for the two major parties, and we don't get anything for Volta region. It's about time a change must come. So this election is about the past and the future. You know your past, you know your difficulties, you know your challenges, you know what your children are going through. We are coming with free education for the formal and informal sector. Everybody can learn some skills and have a job. We are coming with free health care, absolutely free. Whatever sickness you have, whatever disease you have, whatever ailment you have, when you have the health insurance card, you will be served. The doctors will take care of you, and your medication is also covered. We are trying to deliver prosperity to all Ghanaians, every facet of the country. A change will come. We will do something with the whole airport. It will become an international airport. It will become an international hub. When they get off, they need to come here and shop. And there will be money flowing around. The dollars will be coming and life will change. Teachers will be helped. Market women will be helped. Farmers will be helped. And we will do whatever we can. So help us. Vote for PNC. You might never have voted for us before, but this is your chance to vote for David Apasara, and the change that you want will finally come.
He also paid a courtesy call on the leaders of the whole Zongo community, where he urged them to convince their followers to consider electing the PNC in the upcoming general elections. Reverend Ayevo ended his day's campaign activities with a press interaction. He believes the PNC would better implement the free education policy.
We stay on the campaign trail, but this time let's turn our attention on one of the two females slugging it out to be president on December 7. I'm talking about the PPP's presidential candidate, Bridget Jobenuku, who's been touring parts of the northern region. She's been talking about the need for all of us to preserve the peace that we have. Watch.
If you vote for the PPP, there'll be nothing about no peace to keep, because there'll be no fights. We are not fighting with anybody. The Progressive People's Party is an inclusive party. It's a party that is wants all Ghanaians to be one. It's a unifying party. We're all over the country. There's no tribe against another. There's no religion against another. we are one peaceful, inclusive party. So, first of all, to keep the peace, you go out and vote for the Progressive People's Party to win. But at the end of the day, anything can happen. Let us be mindful that without peace, we won't have a country. Without peace, we won't have a president. Without peace, we won't have lives. So let us all go out there peacefully, go and vote for the party you want in power. Hopefully the PPP wins to enhance that peace. But look, have the interest of Ghana at heart. Those working for the Electoral Commission, it is the interest of Ghana at heart first of all. The security services, do your work with the interest of Ghana in your heart, not any political party's interest, or not to protect anybody. On 7th December, we all have become presidential candidates and there's no president. So let's work in the interest of the peace of Ghana together, and we will come out on the 8th of the night to see who is president.
Still on the campaign trail, Second Lady Samira Bawumia has come heavily on the NDC for establishing what she calls a malfunctioning sugar factory at Komenda to deceive the people of the area. She says the NDC only put up a sugar factory that couldn't produce any sugar for commercial purposes and also couldn't make the sugar factory work after staying in power for 6 months after the commissioning of the factory. According to her, voting for the NDC that she says deceived them would only impoverish them the more. There's more in this report.
His Excellency Manado Dankwe Kufuado. A sunset. Oye opinion. Osia. Oyo.
Samira Bawumia is asking the voters here at Komenda to appreciate the president who has constructed a sea defense for the people there, thereby solving one of their headaches, the constant sea waves sweeping through their homes. That's not all. She says the president is doing more for the people in terms of the construction of roads, better factories under the 1D, 1F. She specifically asked the people to vote against the NDC for throwing dust into their eyes under the guise of the construction of the Komenda Sugar Factory. When I paid a courtesy call on the Oman of this area, he told me that upon my return to Accra, I should tell the president that you, the people of Komenda and KE, will all vote for him because of the construction of the sea defense project. And that on the 7th of December, you will give him 4 more to do more for you. This is not about planting malfunction factories like the Komenda Sugar Factory.
Do more for you. Factory enye Jaman odi abesi hono enye nubi eyo mampenia mesiden osia oyo yebo pro 2016 yekasi ebeye.
He is a president who fulfills his promises. When we were going round in 2016, whatever we said, the NDC said we couldn't do it. For them, they don't think deeply about things, and that's why they oppose every good thing. They are not doers, but when others say they will do it, they say they can't.
One district, one factory. One district, one factory.
Have you seen the kind of factory that they put here in Komenda? It's a factory that never worked. When we said we would build factories across the country, have you not seen us building them? We have put up 76 factories across the country that are working. The NPP knows how to do
So that was Richard Kojonyako's report from the Central Region. And from the Central Region, let's head to the OT region. And the NDC Regional Chairman, John Jaman, says the party is poised for victory and unperturbed about the frequent visits by political bigwigs of the governing MPP to the region. He says the OT region remains NDC, just as the Ashanti region remains the stronghold of the NPP. He also says the creation of the OT region was a popular demand and would not be the grounds on which the NPP would win any more parliamentary seats in the region. John Jaman made the comments after he joined the party in the Akan constituency for a peace and memorial walk in memory of the late former president, Jerry John Rawlings. Peter Seno has more.
185 out of 2,795 special voters voted in the Akan constituency. By close of polls, 168 votes were cast, representing 90.81% of total turnout, with 23 females and 145 males in attendance. COVID-19 protocols were strictly adhered to. Those who came without face masks, the Electoral Commission provided one for them before entering the voting premises. Party agent for the two major parties and the agent for the independent presidential candidate expressed satisfaction about the exercise.
I believe that the election day will be good for us. How today is very good for us.
I think it has been very peaceful and very smooth. We didn't encounter any problem or challenges with the machines. And so it was very successful, and we pray that come 7th December we should, experience the same thing so that everything will end successfully like it has ended today.
The whole exercise is successful. We started well, we ended well, and everything was very smooth. By next Monday, things will also move on well, and then there will be good results, and all of us as political parties will accept the results in good faith.
The NDC parliamentary candidate Yagaba-Kubori also expressed satisfaction after he came to observe the voting process.
I don't see anything that need to be complained about. So I want to see the same thing, that we should have it peacefully like this. And that is what I've always been talking about.
With just 5 days to go, the NDC-PC says he is confident he will emerge the winner.
I've told you the day I fight that I'm going to win hands down.
It's time for Voters' Voice now. Residents of Sampa in the Jaman North constituency in the Bono region have been sharing varied reasons as to why they will vote come 7 December in the presidential and parliamentary elections. While some are upset with unfulfilled developmental promises such as the roads and cashew prices, others are also saying that they've seen enough infrastructure development and they can feel the impact of many policies with the hope of more if they return the MPP government. Watch.
The whole Ghana Kura, this is Sampa a leading producer of cashew. Nanado be tra kunwe so na onya no. Oba Sampa Yankee radio. O ka kire se o sre yento abanoma no na so onya abano a. Oba mo modern ti cashew board. Ma cashew no price na raise. Oba tra kunwe so be pim na mfie nan na ekobai. Waye bidie nanso ye ha no ne high pie. Cashew no na cashew price no 1 cedi na eto cashew Sampa ebe ka kire o promise here wan fa ni promise no wa mananye o enti amai me de me boafu pass me to abakura
o mi kro nkwa nye o mo so mo twa mo ntwa o mo go guzu o mo ndu baby a drop kwan so sa ana o mo ba na o mo si so o mo ba insurance na ye twa no o mmehwa ye hu bibi o ma so ye hu sa na ma no bibi a nti abato nde mimum de wan hia meto atia ana minto
adwuma ya meye fu a toa na etum fuel price e ma form da kaso etum a affected the whole nation nyina nti o mo Africa na o mo kasa me so America na adwuma e kasa o pass bo a en so kwa sura na eko e ma form da insurance papers bia e twa ni nyina all right so e twa car na segu so eden ya bo ntimi de me kasa aban se andisi on people on never bia no omuni mo bia eden e di ma yatimamfo no nti ya ho kire de e obi mpa abana de e mamba se to na kire adwene wo kan se to mo no so mo ba ni ntira e de omu segu nwa no so mo hwe no mo nyeden omo nyema
ye wo ba ya de setim ha de a this person wo kasa wo hwe de obi aya won to abada because wo pie ye me driver me adwuma ko bleku sunya ba bia wo pie sunya na asphalt ni tim tizei Master high nam no ye quota no wonam so see ya every time. Di me ka say ha district pa ye hwede aban na so bia ye wo ha to abade a. Minyini zanka obinya wan go tukura wo ha. Di ye ha ye district mu ne that's why hia immoa pa. Hia moa pa.
Yi sampa to Wenji Road. Kwani de enye 1111111. Enti ye mantem ha nyina wo hwe the whole constituency no. Ye Jaman of word ye na yaka chi papa. Enti ye sra ba yakofo ado. On twa na nim behwe Jaman of na ye bre
as a church news, I think say MPP government I favor me more. As a teacher trainee, allowances were cancelled by the previous government. We buy or restore it. I think only that gives me that because 4 years now something better will come out again.
And that's how we wrap up Election Brief for today. Coming your way same time tomorrow at 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Remember, Election Brief is brought to you by Petrosol as well as Cowbell Coffee. We're ending our brief now, but in a few moments we'll be crossing over live to the NDC headquarters where the party is expected to address the media.